Hello, my name is Miranda and today I'm going to be talking to you about some upcoming releases that I am very excited about. So these are all books that I have requested and been approved for from NetGalley, and so essentially this is a little mini NetGalley haul because I can't buy books at the moment. I'm forbidding myself from buying physical books, but that doesn't mean I can't request loads of new releases on NetGalley. That's how I'm getting around it. So this isn't like an exhaustive list of new releases that I'm excited about. It's literally just ones that I have waiting for me on my NetGalley shelf that I can't wait to get to, and will be published in the next 6 months, I think. So first is Transcendent Kingdom by Yaa Gyasi, which is out from Viking on the 4th of March. I read Homegoing by Yaa Gyasi last summer and loved it just as much as I expected to, just as much as everyone was raving about it, because it was exactly my kind of book. Historical fiction, multiple characters, different perspectives, all kinds of fun stuff. And yeah, Yaa Gyasi's writing is absolutely incredible. So I'm so excited to get to Transcendent Kingdom. I would read it whatever it was about. I think it's about a family that move from Ghana to the US, and it kind of looks at themes of addiction and family trauma, but honestly she could write anything and I would read it. I don't care what it's about and I don't really want to know, so I'm just going to go in and have the best time, hopefully. Next, also out on the 4th of March from Granta, one of my favourite publishers, is The Manningtree Witches by A.K. Blakemore. So I'm always on the lookout for some great historical fiction. When I read a historical fiction book that I love it. It goes so well. But it's also the genre that disappoints me most often. The history of witches really interests me, so I got right on this when I saw it. It's also set in the English Civil War, which is a period that I don't know much about, and also a period that I haven't read many historical fiction books from, so that's exciting. I was quite disappointed in The Familiars by Stacey, which is also a kind of witchy historical fiction vibe, so I'm hoping that this will give me all the kind of like witchy historical goodness that I was hoping for from that and didn't quite get. It's a debut novel, but I think the writer has written poetry before, which makes me incredibly excited because, I mean, poets writing novels, generally their language and everything is gorgeous, so I'm very excited about that. Next is Skyward Inn by Aliya, which is out from Solaris on the 16th of March. This is a bit of change of pace for me because I don't normally read much sci-fi, although I think this is kind of more like speculative fiction than like pure unadulterated sci-fi, you know, like with like people flying around space and shit. Also I saw, I think Jen Campbell mentioned this on her channel, and has mentioned this author before, so whenever she mentions a book my ears prick up because she has impeccable taste. It sounds like a really cool concept, an inn, but which is a kind of safe space from a world dominated by war where people go and tell stories. That just sounds great. I really don't know much more about it than that, but also I'm hoping that it will be similar to Day of the Triffids by John Wyndham, which is a sci-fi book that I love, because it looks at the after effects of a kind of world-changing disaster and how people adapt to that, and that is something that really interests me. So yeah, I'm hoping it will be in a kind of similar vein to that. Next is The Dictionary of Lost Words by Pip Williams, which comes out from Chatto and Windus on the 8th of April. This is another historical fiction, and as ever I am very excited, very apprehensive about it. I think it's about the kind of creation of the Oxford English Dictionary, which sounds great. I'm very interested in you know, linguistics and language and how those things develop, so high hopes for this. Next is Circus of Wonders by Elizabeth Macneal, which is out from Picador on the 13th of May. I'm so excited for this book. So if you watched, I don't know which wrap up I talked about it in, but I read Elizabeth and Macneal's debut novel, The Doll Factory. I hope you really can't hear those sirens, but we're just gonna carry on. I read that last year sometime in the winter, and it was the perfect book at the perfect time. It came into my life when I needed some extreme escapism and just to be sucked into a story and taken away, and it delivered on that perfectly. So yeah, I'm really hoping that this is, you know, another historical fiction that I will love. I honestly cannot tell you how excited and happy I was when I got the email saying that I'd been approved for this, because I didn't think it was very likely, because I think it's going to be quite a big release, because The Doll Factory was really popular. But yeah, I was like, oh, Picador, you're spoiling me. I have no idea what it's about beyond the title, and the fact that I think Jen Campbell mentioned that she was a sensitivity reader for it, which means that hopefully it will be good about kind of deformity and disability, which is something that I want to read more books about anyway. So yeah, but again, Elizabeth Macneal could write literally anything and I would read it. The next book is one that isn't out until the 30th of September, from a publisher called MacLehose Press, which I haven't actually heard of before. Very exciting. And it is The Antarctica of Love by Sara Stridsberg. That's what it's called. This is one that I'm pretty sure I haven't seen anywhere apart from NetGalley, which makes me kind of excited because I'm like, oh, I could be ahead of the curve. I'm just gonna read the description because that was what caught me, and I don't think I could do it justice, so I'm reading off my laptop. She has been in the world for a brief moment, a world with needs, demands and fears, until someone decided to snuff out her life and strew the landscape with her body parts. But there are still the children who were hers once, Val and Solveig, taken into the care of the authorities and placed somewhere along the length of Sweden, and there is still the moment of death, which will never end, ever. Because this is what happens. The first time she dies is in the forest, when her heart stops at his hands. The second time is when she dies is when all that is left of her is lowered into the ground. The third time will be when someone says her name for the last time on earth. She is waiting for that to happen. And as much as she wishes the voices still prattling on about her savage earthly fate would hush, she wishes one of her children would say mum and mean her. It just sounds so cool. Like, I think, so from that I'm getting like a woman who's died but is still like lingering on. I don't know, but it sounds amazing. So just a quick little video about books I'm excited about, because I was quite aware that all my videos were like upwards of 15 minutes and I was like, this is a bit much. So stripping it back today. Hope I haven't been rambling too much. Anyway, thank you for watching and I will see you soon.